To cheat or not to cheat? That is the question. Let's turn to. Welcome back. This is Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Today, we're going to do the show a little bit different today. We're going to have call ins. As y'all saw my caption, I said something about cheating. Should we just allow everybody to cheat? And that way, everything would be fair? Or should we stay on the course of not considering cheating as an answer? Right now, boxing is required to they're not required, I should say. They are should not cheat, but some sanctioning bodies have a clean boxing program like WBC in which they don't follow. You have a lot of fighters out there that cheat, and some people of the mind that what if everybody can cheat and that way it'll be fair. Some people think that they shouldn't allow cheating for the sheer nature of the sport. It's a dangerous sport. So Drew Titan is in the building. What's up, King? So the question is, should we cheat or should we not cheat? Should we allow that or should we not? Most of you who watch my show know where I stand, but somebody who watch also have a different opinion. So I want to have people call in. If you direct your eyes to the bottom of my screen, that is the number you can call, and hopefully everything works. But we're going to try to do some call-ins first, and then I'm going to talk about some news behind that, and then, I'm going to close out the show. So Drew Titan I say let them all use. Drew, you don't really mean that, do you, Drew? You don't really mean that, do you? He also said, let's not be naive no more. If they're not going to have any consequences for people using PEDS, and that's PEDS, which means performance enhancement drugs, then some people have the notion of let everybody cheat. Then that way it's fair. But whatever your standings are with a certain fighter without cheating, if everybody cheat, you're gonna have the same standards. So again, I'm gonna try not to say what I think, but I want to hear what you guys think. So don't be afraid to call in. You said I'm feeling dangerous like that. Well, Drew, you more than welcome to call in too and say your piece, because you and me think the same way on this subject. I will say that. But to cheat or not to cheat, what say you guys? So like I said, the phone lines are open. You guys are more than welcome to chime in. While I'm waiting, you said laugh out loud. Go on, Drew, be the first caller. Be the first caller. I know some people out there are shy, but go ahead and call. I won't bite. Not if you don't want me to. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Well, some of the news that I was looking at today, Jordanis Ugas is getting his flowers. He's getting his flowers for beating Pacquiao, as he should. Um, he's just been given the key to the city of Miami. He was honored with that by their mayor, Francis Suarez, and I think that was good on them to do that because he did an incredible thing. He achieved that's a moment he will never forget. He fought Manny Pacquiao for the WBA regular belt. He was given the belt because they stripped it from Pacquiao for inactivity, but you know now it's solid. He has that belt, so there's no doubt he is the real champion. And I guess he lives in Miami or he stayed down there, and they decided to recognize him. Drew said, "I will for sure. Just can't today." All right, Drew. I believe you. I believe you. You have always been my day one. I will always appreciate you for that and your support. But I'm hoping some more people get in here so they can call out and say what they got to say. But Udanis Ugas, I'm proud that he is receiving recognition, and we should. Now we all know that he said that he don't mind doing a rematch with Pacquiao. I feel like he don't need to give Pacquiao a rematch. A lot of us feel like Pacquiao should go ahead and call it quits and retire. He's retiring on the top, whether he thinks so or not. That loss does not negate everything that he's always done. Y'all know how I feel about him. I always say once a cheater, always a cheater. And I believe in his career he has cheated, but I can't say he a scrub. I cannot say that about that man. I think he didn't need the drugs. I think if you get tired or when you get tired, you don't stick to the game plan. All of that go out the window. When you tired, you don't pay attention to detail and you get sloppy. And that's how sometimes you lose a fight. But that's the beauty of it. It's about what you actually do to prepare you for the fight. That's why I do not like PEDS. Oh, damn, I actually said what I felt, but I don't like PEDS. So, again, the question is to cheat or not to cheat. So that's the question. But that's good for him. Good for your Danish Ugas. Now, Valdez and Canseco fight is still going down. You're going to have Flores and Lopez is going to on the card as well. I'm sure they'll have other fighters. I believe that the card would be a good card. I still feel the way I feel about Valdez. I've talked about it for a couple of days. I'll probably talk about it here and there up until their fight this week. It's going to be on Friday on ESPN Plus at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that fight is going down. Um, well, some people ask why is Conseco or Conseco? I hope I'm not mispronouncing his name. I probably am. I'm not doing it on purpose. But some people wonder why is he even going to continue with the fight? What's in it for him? And I tried to explain to some of my friends that it's very hard to get in a position in the first place. It's not right to ask somebody who's been training all their life to quit, to not, get their rewards. If they have had their mind set on becoming a champion and it's within their grasp, for me to ask them to disregard it because I want to protest, or be like an activist against certain sanctioning bodies, it's not fair. I would never ask a fighter that. I also think that this man need the money. He's not Floyd Mayweather. Hardly any of them are. I think too, if you shuck off a fight, you basically missing an opportunity. Those opportunities are far and in between. They may not come back. So then what you do? What you do when you shuck off that? You don't get a second chance. So this man is taking all this stuff in consideration. He feels he can beat him because he beat him in the amateurs by 1 point. But this different, dude. You're going to have to beat him and the PEDS. You're going to have to beat both of them. And whoever else they got lined up to help Valdez. Valdez will win this fight. That's how I feel. It's already written in stone. It's in the newspaper in Mexico right now. They just have to wait till the fight over and hit send. That's how much I think is in the bag for Valdez. Now Valdez himself is talking crazy as usual. He's talking about I feel blessed. I feel blessed that they're giving me this opportunity. It's not blessed, Valdez. It's you're lucky you had a hookup. That's what you got. Ain't blessing ain't got nothing to do with it. Don't bring God into this. That's all hookup because of what race you belong to. Um, he's talking like that, like I'm gonna win, and it's the way he talk. He comes off like a liar. Like let me see if I can go to what he was saying. Let me see. Um, because I want to read that part. Like I was reading it and saying to myself, "Well, damn, this a cocky motherfucker." Uh, he said he a sore loser. Um, he talk about he's happy that he's going home to fight. This is like his second home. He said he been focused. He all he want to do is concentrate. He not focusing on the negativity. These are all things he said at his press conference. They had a final press conference today. I'm assuming. He said, "I feel blessed that I get the chance to step in the ring on September 10th. I'm very grateful to Top Rank and the Tribal Gaming Commission for letting this fight proceed, and I've just been very concentrated." What kind of word is concentrated? Concentrated on not slipping up and telling us what tea you use. Because here's the thing: you should put out what brand you use. So, average humans, I'm talking non-athletes as well as athletes, don't get the notion of buying that. You should warn the public. I don't think nobody wants to accidentally take phentermine. You don't know what a person's body can handle and all that. And if they're putting it in herbal tea, masquerading it like it's some organic herbal tea or something, the public should know that. But he's not going to tell us because we know that that's not true. He said, "I've been very focused on not looking, like I said, anything negative." Um, he said the last two fights he had was during COVID, so now this will be better with the crowd. And then he also went into that this was this like private message between him and his camp. Like we hearing it, but they know what he talking about. He said, "This is when you realize who the real people are around you, who are loyal to you and got your back. I realize that my family is number one and also my team. I have to thank everyone on my team, including my manager, Frank Espinoza. Is he any kin to Steven Espinoza, who works for Showtime Boxing? Because Frank Espinoza is his manager." And he said, "And my trainer, Eddie Renuso. My father has always been there with me too. Just everyone who has been around supporting me during these tough times. Really, you got tough times because it has been difficult. They had my back, and we know we did nothing wrong. We do. They know that. We're going to be real concentrated for this fight." I'm assuming when he keeps saying concentrated, I'm just assuming English is not his first language. I'm assuming, but he said he was born in Mexico, but he grew up here in Tucson, Arizona. So when he said I'm concentrated, I just be like, why is that the word you keep using? And it seemed like he talks very carefully, not to make a mistake. The only way that this fight can make sense to me is if they give Conseco something. But then there's people who are of the mind that says Conseco, he knows what he's doing going into it, so he really can't complain because he's accepting it. He's accepting all of this bullshit. But I say Conseco probably feel he don't have a choice. Yeah, if he drops out and sue, that would take years. In the meantime and in between time, what do? He would definitely get blackballed because it's not just Valdez is pulling strings. It's you know, it's highfalutin people like Mr. Cantone, Mauricio Suleiman. DeWinte is in the building. What's up, King? DeWinte, you want to call in? And what say you? What say you, DeWinte? What say you? You see the number down the bottom, DeWinte? 706-804-4449. Go ahead and call in and state your case. To cheat or not to cheat is the question. Are you calling? I'm looking. I'm looking. But, you know, the fight going to go down. I'm actually going to watch it because I'm interested in seeing what it do. The Wente says only cheating right now because it's against the rules. If they make it legal for everyone, no one is cheating. That is the Wente's stance. The Wente, call in. It's not like a FaceTime. It's just call in. And break it down. Break it down so they can understand where you're coming from. The answer is the answer to still try to clean up boxing, or is the answer is to let everybody cheat? Now Drew Titan came on here earlier. If you look back at the chats, he said, well, let everybody do it. But I know how Drew Titan really feels. But you know, he might be just saying it like, fuck it, when in Rome. What say you? Well, okay. That was what Val Perez, as Drew Titan affectionately called him. That was what he had to say in his final press conference. Basically trying to ward off people asking him questions and, you know, alluding to, you know, anything. He wanted to be careful of everything he say because he's under a microscope. Everything he say and do will be scrutinized, and he knows that. Oh, we got our first caller.
Call from
Pat.
We got Pat on the line. That's DeWinte. What's up, Pat?
What up? What up? What up?
Can
What's going
we?
on? What's going
What's the
on?
goings on?
Boxing fans, Talk TV.
Well, Pat, state your case. Break it down. No interruption from me. Go ahead.
I mean, you know, this my host right here, man. So we done had this conversation offline, but yeah. I mean, that's how I feel. It's one of those things, man. So many people are doing it anyway and getting away with it. And you know, we had this conversation too. It's like everybody that use PEDs is not great. It's people using PEDs out here that are still losing fights, got losing records, all this stuff. So it's always going to be the combination of the skill that a boxer is able to bring to the ring, along with their conditioning, their stamina, their strength, power, etc. All those attributes that you have as a fighter. Now, if some people will say, well, yeah, if you using PEDs, you know, but that ain't you. That ain't just you off your natural ability. Well, how do we judge that as fans? Because my thing is, there have been boxers in the past who took supplements and different substances, and maybe when they took those substances, they were not banned substances. But then at a later date, they became banned substances. So do we remove all those wins off their record, you know, that they got while they were taking those things that later became banned? It's too much. The goalpost is always moving because what is the cutoff? Do we start putting vitamins and minerals on the banned substance list? Do we start putting protein shakes and creatine and caffeine pills? Like, what is the limit? I think there's a way that they could come to some kind of an agreement. Maybe you give a limit. Maybe you don't say, bam, you could just take all the drugs you want. But maybe you say, all right, fighters, this is what you do. Each fighter is allowed to have up to 3 PEDs in their system at any given time. and that gives some kind of normalcy and some kind of, you know, some kind of organization to it. Because right now it's just a free for all, and some people getting caught and some people not, and then you got the organizations letting people get away with it, blaming it on the meat and shit. Oh, I ate a bad taco and it had fentanyl in it. I ate a taco and it had some steroids in it. Like, get rid of all that. Just make a list. Here you go. You get your 3 PEDs. It's up to you. You don't have to take any, but it's up to you to take them, because it's gonna be a never ending cycle. Every year, new supplements coming out. Scientists and these performance, you know, drug companies or whatever, always trying to come up with new stuff. So, bam, somebody come out taking this new supplement and they whooping everybody ass, and then a few months later, oh well, that's a bad substance now. Well, you know, it's too much. I don't think it's something that could ever be kept up with, and I think it will be in their best interest just to go ahead, and it's easier and less hassle, and there's less headache, because now, you know, again, we take away the cheating word. Ooh, is cheating. Well, yeah, it's cheating because as of right now, the rules say that no one should be taking these. But if we allow up to a certain amount of these things to be taken, and it's for everybody, then now it's not cheating anymore. And I think as long as that's the case, the fans won't feel cheated, because the boxers are getting in the ring on an even field. Not just, oh, well, one dude was taking PEDs and he wasn't supposed to, and one dude went in there clean. Nah, they both went in there PED'd up. So all span love and war. And, you know, that's just how I feel about it.
So what say you to I had made a point that if 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 we come in clean and I beat your ass, you know, I'm not talking about just us two. I'm talking about just, you know, just
Yeah,
general
in
fighters.
general.
If I beat your ass and we both came in clean, now we both can take pads, but I still beat your ass. Like, if that's gonna elevate one person, it's gonna elevate the other person. You haven't changed anything. What do you say to that?
So what I'm saying is you're right. I mean, more than likely, exactly. If I can beat you clean, then I can. If we both clean and I win, if we both juiced up, then I should still win. But that that is not a guarantee. So it could change the results of the fight. But I mean, but for the most part, yeah. If I'm just a better boxer than you, then yeah, I'm just a better boxer. So if we both get the same advantage, then I'm still above you, because you know you got to take a, you know, get a little advantage, and we got to, yeah, I mean, that's it. Nothing, the equilibrium didn't change. The dynamic didn't change. The complete level of competition increased in that ring. The fight that you're going to see is going to be a better fight, because you're going to see more punches thrown, harder punches thrown. You're going to see busier fights, because people are at their physical limits, being enhanced with the PEDs. So that's really the only difference when you talking about two fighters having a clean fight versus two fighters having a PED fight. It's the natural fight should be a slower fight, could still be an exciting fight, but like the juiced up fight, everybody ought to be swinging for the fences, and you know as you say with Canelo, you don't see the gassing out. So it's the length of how long you can have the fight. You know, you can keep rumbling.
So what do you say to, there's some PEDs that will prevent you from even feeling something. Some people look for that edge. Well, you know, I think that's crazy, because if I can't feel nothing, like just in general, I'm walking around the house, I don't have feelings. I don't have the sense of touch. So because I didn't dull that nerve by taking something, right? So I touch something that's hot, and the whole time I'm just keeping it there because I ain't getting no warning shot. It's still hot, you know. But you know, translate that into fighting. If if you taking something that alters your sense of touch, you don't feel nothing, so therefore you can make it. Nothing hurts you, nothing bothers you. What about that? Because there are drugs that do that too, and people look for that edge.
But I think again, I think as the fans, I would think that the viewing public would not care as long as it's not just one person in there. You know, we gotta look at let's we gonna take it to video game to video game terminology, right? So
Okay.
you think, popular game, Call of Duty, you
Mhm.
have perks. Everybody don't pick the same perk when they create their class. Some people pick a perk that says my bullet's gonna do extra damage. Some people pick the perk that say I can take extra damage. Some people pick the perk that say I can sprint longer, or I can jump faster, or I can throw grenades faster, or whatever. Like the perk you pick is the perk you pick, and the way that you make your combination and the way that you move around with your combination of perks, you have to do what is tailor made for you and how you move in the video game. Same thing with the boxers in the ring. If you are a charge forward fighter, a traditional Mexican style, never back up type fighter, maybe it's in your interest to use that kind of PED that's going to be a numbing type PED. So you can eat them heavy blows and still come through and fight the fight how you going to fight your fight. But it is what it is. That's the perk you pick, because the other person might be pick the perk that make him punch harder. So that's all I'm saying. As long as everybody gets to have their freedom to juice up or PED, to their preference, there is no complaint that could be made. If they can, dang, he hit him with the hardest haymaker I ever seen thrown, and he just walked straight through it. Hey,
You
it
know what
was
the
a scoring
danger?
blow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting. You know what the danger
No,
is?
go ahead.
You know what the danger is for taking a ped that dulls your nerves where you don't feel nothing. Feeling stuff lets you know you're alive. Pain is actually good because it lets you know you're alive. If you don't feel, they could be fighting you up to the inch of your life. Sometimes you gotta know when to quit, but your corner's supposed to save you from yourself. But if you don't feel nothing and you could be close to death, I mean that's not good. That's not good. We don't want the boxing to turn into death matches. Ain't nobody gonna pay to see that. They're not even gonna allow nothing like that in this country to even be aired. Like any given night, somebody could die in there. Um, what about
I
what I
I
was
don't know.
saying?
I, I I don't agree with that. I think maybe, yeah, America's squeamish. Maybe Americans wouldn't like it, but I don't think the rest of the world would have a problem with it. But
Why
because at
why
the end of the
wouldn't
day, they saying, you like you said, you say all the time, death is on the menu.
it's on the
Death
menu?
is a possibility when you step in here. Whether
Yeah.
you fighting somebody, it's a mismatch, and they should have never put you two people in the ring. It's just a skill gap that great. Yeah, death is on the menu, but I don't think the fans care as much as you think they do. I think that as long as it's fair, if somebody get in the ring and they fight till they die, okay, it's sad. They gonna put it in the news, and then people gonna be like, all right, when's the next fight? People will never be turned off of boxing because people are dying. But like I said, I never think it will get to that point where it's just every time somebody step in the ring, it's gonna be a death. Like it'll never be as bad as you're projecting it to be. People
I'm not.
gonna look beat up. It might be some other things. People might have the shakes and all that other stuff. But like, I mean, it is what it is. That's maybe the worst that I see happening.
Mm-hmm.
People having different kind of neurological disorders from taking punishment. But I mean, I would think if you're a smart fighter and everybody in the ring is PED'd up, you need to change the tactic. I'm not trying to take no bunch of steroid powered punches to my face, but people gonna do what they do. People wanna put their machismo out there on the line, and I'm tough. And man, watch how good I can take a punch. Okay, well when you leave and you peeing blood and you got the shakes and you spasming and all this and that, that's the choice you made. That's all I'm saying. What we'll see is a lot of people cycling in and out of boxing. The greats gonna rise to the top, and the people who can't handle it are gonna fall off. but the competition gonna be real stiff.
But how do you now? You got to explain to us because I think this is important. How do you assess a cheater? What assessment can you gain or glean from a cheater?
What do you need? What is it for you to assess?
Is
What do you mean? Because
you're
again, you're saying
assessing,
you
you're
keep using the
judging,
term cheater,
you're
and
judging
remember,
right now. That's what the
okay,
rules are. So they cheating, right?
okay,
Right now, you said that in the
okay,
beginning. Right
right
now,
now, yeah, right
they're
now
cheating.
is cheating.
So I'm saying right now, I got to go by reality, what we got right now, not what we
Mm-hmm.
want, because I want clean all the way through. You're saying if when in Rome, join them. I'm saying that can't be an answer. But what I'm asking you is, how do you assess a fighter right now with the rules being what they are? How do you assess their performance? Because an assessment is going to be made. That's the whole point of boxing. Who was the better fighter? Who won? Who threw the most punches? Who slipped? Who performed better? That's how we come to who the winner is. So if the judges have the authority to actually choose who the winner is based on their performance, we as fans are choosing what fighter we like. We're assessing them. How do you assess a cheater is what I'm asking.
Um. So I guess the answer is we don't. I guess we don't because, as you said, the rules have said as they currently stand. The rules say if you cheated,
You
it's a
breaking up.
the rules as they currently stand. You know, there will be no assessment. The assessment is it's disqualified or it's a no contest or whatever, depending on depending on which way you cheat. I mean,
L Dub,
because
what's up? What's up, King? Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Pat.
oh yeah, because I'm saying because like this is cheating. So like you say,
Pat, your
the
signal
fight
is like
again,
choppy. I don't know if you got a good place to stand, but it was a little choppy.
it ain't me. I got
Oh,
5 bars. It is
oh,
not me.
we hear you now. Go ahead, player.
Okay, so I'm saying it's just like you say the you working for the win before you ever step in the ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for the person who don't make weight, but they still let them fight because that's happened. They ain't made weight, but they still let them fight. But they may have to pay a fine or whatever. They still figured out a way to assess them, but that's cheating though, right? Because you was supposed to make weight.
Mm-hmm.
So like every if that's the whole thing, I'm saying people are always making exceptions when they want to make exceptions. So in order to circumvent all of that, you just allow certain shit and formalize it and everything that now no exceptions need to be made. They all have the same opportunities to to do the same thing that is right now currently considered cheating.
So your
Because
answer
like,
is
but how?
okay. I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, I don't see what the difference is. You say, oh man, when he came in the ring, he was 10 pounds overweight, but they still let the fight go on. Well, that's cheating.
It's
But
not because they
they're
have.
not gonna put that on his record. If he wins, he won, but he was 10 pounds overweight.
There's
He's just gonna get a
consequences.
W.
We saying that people gonna cheat, Patrick. Nobody is ever gonna follow rules. We get that. That's in life in general. But what I'm saying is there has to be consequences for these boxing matches and everything when it comes to cheating. If you cheat and you get caught, we're saying hold their feet to the fire. The answer is not let everybody cheat. I don't see how that's an answer because one, you can't assess a cheater. When I look at Valdez this week when they had their fight, I can't glean anything from him because I know it's not all him. That's what I'm saying. And you answered it by saying you don't assess a cheater. But at the end of the day, I don't see how the answer is let everybody be on PEDS and then it's an even playing field. I
Because
just I'm just not seeing it.
at that point, no one's cheating. So now you can assess everybody fairly. You can assess everyone. You can't assess somebody as taking the advantage that no, it's not fair. But everyone is choosing to take the same advantage or whatever, pick they package of advantages. Now it's fair again. That's all I'm saying. Right now, it's cheating. Yeah, hold their feet to the fire because it is cheating as the rules are right now. No, you don't get to use PEDs and phentamines and steroids and HGH and whatever all these other banned substances are, clenbuterol and all that other stuff. No, you don't get to take that and still get to hold your head up high because as of right now, these things are illegal in the world of boxing. Now, like I said, because of the corruption that we have with these different organizations, um, whoever, what you say, WBC,
Yeah,
that's the Mexican
WBC
belt.
and yeah, and the
So yeah,
WBA is the
so yeah,
Venezuela
so
belt.
the WBC doing all they doing, making all these exceptions for these fighters, and flipping the rules and chopping and screwing it. Like you avoid all of that when you get to a point. Like I say, you don't get to just change it on the fly. I don't believe in that. But you come to a clean breaking point where you say, all right, starting from this day, this is what's legal, this is what's not. And I feel that it would benefit boxing, and it would cut out a lot of the minutia, as we like to say, if you just went ahead and put that PED stipulation in there. We ain't even gonna do all this super extracurricular, strict, arduous testing. You got a 3 PED limit. You declare the PEDs that you're taking, and then at that point, because see now you got people on the record. Hey, you say the 3 things you taking, and we're gonna test you. And if you got more than these 3 things in your system, then that's what you make it strict and very, very penalizing. Hey, you forfeit the fight. You forfeit any pay-per-view earnings or whatever you was gonna get, like all that. You gotta make that shit, make it so strict where they don't want to break it. They ain't gonna break that rule. Like, all right, look, I get to take my 3 drugs, and I know if they catch me with any other drug that we didn't claim, we gonna lose all our money. I may lose my belt, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's how you fix it.
You know what's wrong with that? Because you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna take one. This is diuretic like the phentermine because that also flushes out your system. You have now opened the door to people taking any and all kinds of drugs. Again, some people gonna opt for the I don't want to feel nothing, but you shouldn't walk around and definitely be in no contact sport where you don't feel nothing. You can die. Like that is a surefire way to die. Your body know
Oh,
when it's
okay.
time to quit. And like I said, you got the ref in there to save fighters. You got the corner to save fighters, from themselves. But human, self-preservation is real in all of us. And so if I can't feel nothing, how can I self-preserve? Not to mention the elephant in the room that, like I said, you mentioned it earlier. Death is on the menu when you step into that ring. I don't care who you are. Death is on the menu. And, to me, I think it opens Pandora box. Why isn't it a good thing for us to live, why we can't do the right thing? Like, why do we have to succumb to all the bad things and the ills of the world because everybody doing it? That's a losing strategy to me because they'll find a way to have more than 3 drugs in there because they'll always have a diuretic to flush them out. And then you'll never know. So it'll still be cheating on top of cheating. So what you say to that?
I mean, you're right. At that point, people are always
We
what advantages of okay.
we can barely hear you.
And some people would rather that. I think the most athletes or whatever, if that was the rule, they rather that. Because just think, even though, well, again, I'm giving this example, but there's still gonna be boxers who say, I'm not putting none of that shit in my body. There's still gonna be those boxers. Maybe that may be the only thing they do take is a phentermine. Like, look, I'm not taking nothing else performance enhancing. but I will take a drug to help me make weight. Okay. And I mean that's their choice if that's what you choose to do. Yeah, but like I mean, it is what it is. My whole point is you can't stop it all. Ain't no point in trying to stop it all. It's gonna be corruption. People gonna cheat. People gonna have favoritism. You're not gonna stop all of that. So come up with a happy medium because that would be the happy medium for me. Whatever coming up with whatever number of PEDs that could be in your system at one time. And I mean, if that's how they want to do it, if they all the drug users want to say, well, yeah, we'll agree to that, and everybody gonna take all the drugs they could take, and then take fentanyl and flush it out. Okay, they putting their body on the line, but I mean, I don't know how you stop that. You're not gonna stop it. Because right now that I don't even think the way that things are going that the fentanyl is going to stay on the list for real.
No, it's
So
gonna
I
stay
mean, what
on
do
the
you
list.
do?
We don't care what Mr. Cantone says. We don't care that he said it shouldn't be there or Val Paz said that it shouldn't be there. We gonna listen to them. It's on Water list. It's on other people's list too. And then they want to quote other like those entities that test for drugs, but that's not the person you hired. You hired Vada, Mr. Cantone. So since you hired him, you rock with what they say. It's on their list. You set it up to be that way, and then you want to disregard the list. I mean, it's just so corrupt. I mean, like for real, for real. I want to give a shout out to all the gamblers out there because he now just showed the person always bet on Mr. Cantone. And when it's a Mexican involved, always bet on Mr. Cantone. You know what I'm saying, Pat? Because if it's a
Mm-hmm.
Mexican, you already know. Unless you knock that person into the third row, you know who coming home with the victory. So that's where you should place your bets. Want
I
to say,
mean,
hey y'all.
I hear you,
Oh well, thank
but
you,
yeah.
Duente. Unless you got something more to say, you want to cook on something else?
No, that's it. That's my complete thought. And, share that with the room. I'm definitely in the chats for the debate. We
Yeah,
can keep chopping it up right here in the chat.
yeah. Well, I appreciate you calling, being the first person to call. I will always remember that, and I'm gonna put a plaque with your picture and say my first caller.
All right.
All right, Duente.
All right.
Peace. Well, y'all heard it. Y'all heard what Duente had to say. He made some points. He basically it boils down to when in Rome, do as Romans. Anybody else want to chime in? I'm here for it. Call the number down here 706-804-4449. I will pick it up. But me and DeWinte, we disagree about that. I respect him for his decisions. I just don't believe in cheating in anything, any competition. Because for me, oddly enough, I be in competition with my own self. I judge my gains and achievements by how well I did comparatively to how well I did the time before. And so, as long as if that's my motivating factor of my driving force, if I get a victory out of it, then that's gravy. I look at it like it's gravy. But I'm first trying to do the best I can do, leaving it all in the ring, leaving it all in the field. And I can't be upset with that, you know. But I do not like anything that alters you. Why I was asking him about how do you assess a cheater? Anything that alters you, how can you make an assessment about that? Like a true assessment. Oh, Pacquiao, he can go through the whole fight. He can fight 15 rounds. That's what we gonna say about him. But can he? Cause when he ain't on his stuff, whatever it is, he eat or drink, whatever. When he ain't on it, he can't go 15 rounds. But one person we can say we know can go 15 rounds, and that was Floyd Mayweather Jr. You see Floyd at the end of the fight, he do one of these numbers. That's how he out of breath. So we know he was precise. He was on his A game. We know that he's a complete fighter. He was doing everything great. He put himself in that kind of shape. If you're a fighter and you don't want to run 10 miles, that's your ass. Floyd running 10, he running 12. If you don't want to do that, that's you. If you get gassed out in the sixth round or something like that, that's how you lose a fight. If you go back to the drawing board, because they say, I got to go back and watch the fight. I got to go back and assess what I did. If you go back and assess what you did and you be like, damn, I could see in the fifth round, I was tired as hell. Because I don't care who you are. When you're tired, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be thorough in your and precise in your approach. All of that's going to go out the window. You're going to forget your strategy. You're going to get hurt because you ain't going to see something coming. Your senses aren't there. Your reflexes, your speed, your agility, none of that shit is present when you're tired. So the answer is run some more miles, get better condition. It shouldn't be, oh, let me take this and then, that way I can last. You cheating yourself. We can't even tell what you can do. I get it, Duente. Like, you frustrated, like all of us are, about these fights not happening. Everybody making it complicated to make a fight, but or that you want to be the best because only the best is getting paid. You're a little guy anyway, Valpez. So I figured you just want to, you want to show out so that people gonna be like, won't he come up to the next weight class? Kind of like how they was doing Manny. Come up I want to see you destroy everybody in the next weight class. Because every time you go up in the weight class, you get more money, more money, more money. So you want to be a beast in them lower weight classes, because then those people are the ones we look for when they move up. Somebody who was average in their weight class and move up because they can't make the weight, we're not checking for you, boo. That's the harshness of boxing. That's just how it is. But I still don't believe the answer got to be let them all cheat. You opening Pandora's box. North is north, south is south, east is east, and west is west. We got to get away from, just succumbing to things that we know is wrong. It's wrong to cheat. Reggie Bell, what's popping, King? Reggie, the phone line's open. You missed most of what Pat had to say. But if you want to call in using that number, 706-804-4449, you can call in and tell me, do you cheat? Is it cheating or not to cheat? If one person is taking PEDS and everybody's doing it, is the answer to go ahead and let everybody cheat? Everybody get on PEDS. That way we even out the playing field. What say you? L-Dub, if you want to get in. Y'all call. It's working. The phones are working. Patrick said, what up, Brother Bell? Y'all called in. But yeah, like I just feel differently. I can't assess a cheater. The only thing I can say about a cheater is, damn, he a good ass cheater. Or a person who's a thief. I be like, damn, that motherfucker can steal. If I ever need something stealing, I know who to call. Or you know what I'm saying? If I ever wanted to cheat, I would know who to call. But in combat sports, now Patrick DeWinte made a good point about what you call those the bodybuilders, how they be on that shit and it doesn't matter or whatever. But my point to him was they're not in combat. They're not hitting each other. So if they want to destroy their body and destroy their health, that's them. But when you talk about combat, you already hurting somebody. Reggie Bell said this sport is too dangerous to be cheating. Call in, Red, and tell us what you think. It's a call-in show today. Reggie Bell said, what's up, DeWinte? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Call in. What say you? 706-804-4449. But yeah, so I can't be down with the cheat. If I'm down with this cheating, then I'm down with college cheating. I don't want a doctor who cheated his way through school. That's just me. Some people might be cool with it, but I'm not. I don't want nothing from nobody who cheated. Because, again, we can't see if you really know it, you know. And most time when people cheat, they're not honorable. I mean, it is what it is. Did you try to call in, Bell? Reggie? I know you tried to call in yesterday. It's working. It's not a FaceTime. I don't think it's a FaceTime one. I would say beam in. But this one is just call in. Just like how Duente just did. But the phone lines are open. If you're watching me on Facebook, go ahead and call that number 706 804 4449. I'm interested to hear what you say. Because so far, me and Duente, we have, it's just, he has his opinion, I got mine. We trying to see what the consensus is. Oh, Bell said not today. All right, King. But if you're out there listening, go ahead and make your call in. We want to hear what you got to say about this. So I'm gonna press on for some news. If somebody want to call in, I will definitely pick it up. So yeah, Oscar, I just can't listen to nothing he say no more. So that little final press conference, he was basically like telling them, "Look, I'm blessed and highly favored. Yes, you are highly favored. You ain't blessed, but you highly favored." And if those people didn't want their money, if you was a real scrub, and that's the crazy thing, you must be a good fighter. You must be a good fighter because you're you had competed in the Olympics or the amateurs, on a high level. You must be a good fighter. So why you needed drugs anyway? If but he said something that I caught, and I was like, it explains it. I'm a sore loser. Those were his words. Valpez said that. And I know a little bit about being a sore loser because I am too. But I never wanted to win by cheating. I never wanted to win by cheating. But sore losers, I understand how that could be so crazy in you. Like I've cried because I lost. I mean, he probably, if that's what he call it, a sore loser, then I understand. The when they say highly favored, he's highly favored. Hell yeah, but he ain't blessed. Don't put that on God. In my Rasputin voice, don't blame that on God. But anyway, yeah, so I understand about being a sore loser. It's hard to take, but it's a part of life. You're not meant to win everything. And Floyd, yeah, he got a perfect record, but you think Floyd winning everything? He doesn't. If Floyd was trying to be the best promotional company, he already looked like he contaminated at this point because you got fighters out there saying he ain't paying them to have that big of a risk of just getting in the ring. Floyd is not paying him. $7,500 is not paying him. So you're not the best at everything. And I think Floyd knows that. But for all the people that's looking at Floyd's record, if y'all gonna pay attention to him, won't you do what he did? He don't smoke. He don't drink. He don't take drugs. He beat your ass fair and square. If you want to have that reputation or be placed on that pedestal up there with him, Oscar Valdez, you got to actually be put in the work. And some of this shit is God's gift. Some of your talents is God's gift. Everybody can't have all the same talents. There's things I want to do. I'm not God gifted that way. If I work hard, I will be about average in certain things. And I'm cool with that because it's not meant for me to have. And that's the problem with this group of Mexicans, not the whole race, but this group. Talking about Mauricio Suleiman, aka Mr. Cantone. I'm talking about Oscar Valdez, aka Valpez. I'm talking about Canelo Alvarez, the cheater. Canelo the cheater. And I think it was another guy. I don't know that guy, but I think his last name was Martin. I could be wrong, but I know it was another guy in that camp. The only two people we waiting to see is Ryan Garcia. Do you see the difference a year made in his body structure? I don't believe it. Then you see, I think BFTV call him Big Nasty, Andy Ruiz. Um, He's been big most of his life. Like his torso hold a lot of goddamn weight, a lot of weight. Um, but now all of a sudden he get with Eddie Renuso or the Canelo camp, and he's just dropping weight like crazy. I mean, can y'all bottle that shit that y'all got if it's so legal and so good for you and everything? Can you bottle it up, slap your brand on it, and put it on the shelves? I'm sure it'll fly off the shelves. I'm sure it'll be like $1 billion business. You know, they put these substances on the list for a reason. It's not worth killing yourself or degrading your body to be taking this stuff. And even if you don't care about that, care about your opponent. I'm sure you're not getting in the ring saying, I'm going to kill you. Some people might do that, but it's not all the time like that. It's a sport. You live to fight another day. If you're not good today, after all, tomorrow is another day. In my Vivian Lee voice. Well, I'm going to move on. I'm still waiting on anybody who want to jump in. But Gabriel Flores Jr. is talking a lot of cold shit. He dropping notable names like Tank Davis and uh who else? Gamboa and other people that he trained with to get ready for his fight with Lopez that's coming up on this particular card that we talking about with Valpez. So Gabriel is basically saying he gonna drop his ass. He gonna get him. It's like I want to see that fight. You got people you training with people like Tank. You should be good to go. You should be good to go if you train with him. You really would have been good to go if you said you trained with Devin Haney. But we shall see. I don't know. But I'm this. Oh, I was gonna read the. I was about to close it out, but let me get this boxing schedule so that y'all know what's coming up. Um, let me hit that. Okay. Excuse me if I pronounce your name wrong. I can't do shit about it, but here you go. HR, I'm gonna say HR Govic or Her Govic versus Radon Jick. That's on the zone September 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eggington versus Jakitow. That's on Channel 5. I'm assuming that that's like regular channel, ABC, NBC, CBS, but that's September 10th at 2 p.m. Yoko versus Milas. That's on ESPN Plus on September 10th at 2 p.m. Eastern. You know we got the Valpez versus Conseco, ESPN Plus. Fight TV, September 10th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Le Jaraga versus Charat on the zone, September 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Edwards versus Mama, uh, that's been postponed. If anybody was looking for that, don't think many people were, but it's postponed. Holyfield, the replacement to Oscar De La Hoya because he got COVID. So Holyfield decided to step in. He's 58 years old. He's going to be fighting Belfort on Fight TV September 11th at 9 p.m. That's a Triller event. I might even watch it because I want to see what Holyfield doing. He certainly looked good for 58. The man looks incredible. I'm talking about just health wise and the way his body shape. Even before he decided to start training, I think when Mike and Roy did their thing, Holyfield said, "Shit, don't leave me out." He got up in the gym and started doing his thing. But he looks good. He kept in shape all these years. So shout out to Holyfield for taking this on short notice. And they also said if where the location is already going to be held at, they said if that state does not sanction Holyfield to fight, they'll move it to another state that will. I was like, God damn, they mean this card gonna happen. Trilla said, y'all ain't fucking me again. This shit coming to fruition. Then you got Fulton Jr. His fight was just postponed with Brandon Figueroa because Brandon has COVID. He said his whole camp, everybody got it. That was supposed to be September 18th. I was actually looking forward to that. I would suggest anybody who kind of like boxing, this one you want to look at, because I know some of you who come back and watch the videos, y'all not into boxing, but I promise you, if you just give it a little time, you will be fans, and then you become fanatic fans. Joshua versus Usyk is still on Sky Sports on the Zone, September 25th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know how I feel about that because, like I said, Joshua, he's been a whole bitch out here for years now, a whole entire bitch, and I say that for a reason because he come up with the weirdest excuse not to fight nobody. How are you heavyweight champion, but you won't fight nobody who's just as good as you or better. You won't do it. But he's fighting Usyk. Some part of me feel like I hope Joshua lose. But if Usyk take the belt and crawl up into one of them countries over there in the Caucasus Mountain, I don't know where he from. If he do that, and then nobody gonna get a chance to fight him for the belts. If he start acting like Joshua, I don't really know. Eddie Hearn, I don't care. That's a DAZN fight. September 25th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eubank versus El El Beer. I don't know who El Beer is. It's on Sky Sports, October 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fowler versus Smith on the Zone, October 9th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The one we all waiting for. We're like 32 days away or something, 31, 32 days away. Fury versus Wilder 3 on British TV, ESPN Plus, Fox pay-per-view, October 9th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not miss that one. Do not miss that one. I will actually be there in Vegas. Fury versus Hammer, Sky Sports, October 16th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Stevenson versus Herring, that's another one. I'm trying to help the casuals out who don't know much about boxing. This one you should watch. Wilder, you should watch. The one that was going to be on the 18th, you should watch. If you feel like watching the old guys kick it, watch the Holyfield joint. Stevenson versus Herring, ESPN, October 23rd at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss that one neither. Benavidez and Uskatiki. That's a good one. Don't miss that one. November 13th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's on Showtime. We already told you if you bought that fight, because originally it was August 28th. It got postponed because Benavidez had COVID and some people in his crew. So it got moved to November 13th. The tickets that you bought for the August 28th is still good at the November 13th fight. It's in the same place. And like I said, it's Showtime, so it's a free fight. If you got Showtime, you can watch that. So that's the boxing fights coming up in the near future. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And I want to thank Pat, aka the Winte 69, for chiming in. You are my first caller, and your plaque will be hung on my wall so that every time I sit down here, I'll see it. Anyway, when you know better, y'all will do better, right? So peace out.